Sorted.
Okay, Ron, thank you very much for joining me, mate.
No worries.
How's things? What's been going on?
Not much, mate. Just locked down.
Yeah, well, that's
We're
pretty
locked down. We're in tier 5, mate.
Yeah, well, there we go. It's like this perpetual repetitive crap. Like everyone I speak to, I either get like a what's going on, they got an exciting story, or what's going on. Fuck all, mate. Same as you.
Waiting for you to do a quiz, basically.
It's coming. There's a 2020 quiz coming, possibly this week.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because that's what kept us sane in the last one. Your quizzes.
Yeah, I'm like when I kept seeing your names pop up, I was like, "Fucking Ron, and that's on the quiz."
Yeah, we want our loyalty cards and everything.
I'll get a T-shirt made up and sent to you for free, both of you.
Yeah, wicked.
This is somewhat overdue, you and I, mate. We were meant to have done this a long time ago, but
I'm get camera shy, but
that's it, mate. Yeah, you got to take you this long to work out something to talk about.
Exactly. So I've been planning it all this time. So
first of all, mate, I think congratulations are in order. The news is out there and stuff. You're unfortunately for many, you're going to be a dad, right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I've got a baby boy due in June.
Excited?
Yeah, really excited, mate. Really excited.
It's like grown up shit, that is, though, mate.
It is grown up shit. Now I have to stop being a kid myself now and try and act like an adult.
Well, my daughter's now 20 and she's pregnant, so I'm going to be a granddad.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Like.
She's I remember you bringing her to the gym when she was like small, like tiny.
Yeah. 20 pregnant.
Crazy, mate. You're gonna be fucking hell.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't even know where to go with it, mate.
What would you prefer to be called, Grumpy or Granddad?
Wes. Wes will do me just fine, mate. I can't get my head around being a granddad. It does like being a dad still now. If you were to ask me now if I'm ready for kids, I'd say no, and I've got one. So I thought my daughter's 20 now. I can let go and I can just act like I've not got kids now, and she can fend for herself. But yeah, so it's downhill for me, mate.
Fair play. You excited then?
No, I didn't even get to have fun making this one. You got to enjoy making yours.
Yeah, true. That's lockdown, mate. That was lockdown.
That was lockdown. A lot to answer for.
Yeah. Boris Johnson's fault.
Well, yeah, let's just blame him for everything anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Even
Here comes trouble. Yeah, wait there. Is it? I mean, mate, to be fair, I've got kids already.
Oh, yeah. Mate, dogs.
Paul.
You.
Paul Chuckle, because obviously the other one's Barry. So we got
Chuckle Brothers.
Paul and Barry Chuckle Brothers, the dogs.
Mate, there's two things. A, your dogs. Like obviously you friggin' love your dogs. I know that from when you had that pup off of Jeffra of my pup. Like you properly love your dogs. I mean, it's not that I don't love my dogs, but a lot of my dogs are working dogs. If I got the birds of prey and stuff, but your dogs are like your kids. They're like properly part of the family.
Yeah, I've got some experience of having kids, I suppose.
Yeah, it'd be just the same, man. Sure.
Except they shit in the garden.
Yeah, you can contain the shit better in a nappy. Yeah, it's either that. You're either that or Jan. It's either Jan or the dogs. They're the two things that your social media is full of.
Yeah, to be fair, it's less of the fighting nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not much that happens with me.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of coaching now.
How long have we known each other now? I met you. I can't remember if you were 15 or 16.
About 16, 17, weren't I? I think 16.
I know you weren't quite 17, so you must have been 16. I was trying to rack my brains earlier. I couldn't remember how long it was. So yeah,
now you do the math.
18. 18 years.
18 years. Jesus.
That's insane.
Jesus Christ.
And you look like you've aged 5 years. I look like I've had 18 years being punched in the face by people like you. It's hardly fair.
Bloody hell.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, yeah. Said you're saying that like I said, your daughter was like tiny at that time.
Tiny, mate. Yeah. Just a little kid. I remember bringing her up and stuff.
Crazy. She got a kid on the way.
It's insane, mate.
Crazy.
Insane. Grown-ups, proper grown-ups now, mate.
Yeah.
The days of just traveling up to Cheltenham, like just work on the door or don't work or do whatever. Just travel up to Cheltenham.
Yeah, exactly.
A few hours a day, no worries in the world. Now look at grown-ups.
I don't regret it though. Don't regret it a bit.
No,
at all.
That, I mean, to be fair, those back in them days, mate, the beginnings were brilliant. It was because I think as well, like we didn't really have a fucking clue. Like, I mean,
No.
you were among the best fucking fighters, 100% in the UK, but within Europe. And I'd come to the classes, and there's this 16-year-old kid who's not only teaching me stuff, beating me up while he's teaching me stuff. I didn't like getting whacked anyway, so I got someone who doesn't mind whacking me, but he's little and he's young and he's better at everything than me. I was like, fucking hell.
Well, to be fair, I'm grateful for the sport getting taken up, you know. But I'm trying to help other kids now reach their dreams.
Yeah, exactly, mate. I mean, there's not. I think what people don't realise, and a lot of people nowadays, is like, I think yourself and myself probably had the best out of the sport that a lot of people will ever get, in that we got to travel the world. We got to fight all over the world or corner all over the world. And a lot of that's lost now because there's a big domestic scene.
Yeah, and plus kids are into their iPads nowadays, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, mate, there's not many 13-year-olds who want to spend their time sparring and getting punched in the face. And then it's 16 who wants to be getting kicked around a gym by Pele Reed like you were.
Exactly. Yeah, no, they're just playing their Fortnite. I wish Fortnite was around then. I would have done that instead.
That's the way mate, I say to everybody, like the people who I teach, when they first come in, I'm like, listen, my advice on fighting is don't fight. If you can do anything else, if you're happy with anything else,
that's my advice too.
Do that. Yeah, just it's a shit life even when it's great.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even your best fight, your best fight where you've won and has been amazing. I bet you can still remember the horrible weight cut.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, mate, that was the horrible part about fighting. I think that's what put me off of it altogether, to be fair.
Yeah,
yeah.
We've both let that side of things go now. Anyway, mate, we've said goodbye to the weight cuts.
Oh, mate, if I did come back, it'd be like lightweight or like a catch weight or something.
What are you walking around at?
Sorry, mate. What's the next question? Last time I checked, well, I think about 85 now. That's not too bad. That's actually come down loads.
Jesus.
I mean, like during the last lockdown, you know, the last proper lockdown, I got up to about 95, 94. For me, because I'm short, I'm only 5'6", a tall 5'6", obviously, not like I'm just below 5'7". Yeah, I was looking like a bowling ball, mate.
That is big, mate, to be fair. Like, my maximum's 89. I'm about 86 now. My maximum's about 89. So for you to be that... I mean, you got massive legs, which don't help. Do you know what I mean? If both...
Willie looks small, that's the only thing about his legs.
Mate, do you know what makes my willy look small? Having a small willy. Guess me every time.
I'm not going to say I ain't seen that before.
No. You've been a select group of people who haven't, to be fair.
I'm not gay, by the way, I'm just saying.
But consider you're 84 kilos, 85 kilos, and you fought at 61's the lightest you fought at, right?
Yeah, bantamweight. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Do that again. That's 2 years of life, that did.
Also, as well, like people, like MMA fighters will realise, but like people who are just getting into the sport now and the newcomers won't realise, like you have a good, solid frame at featherweight. So to be going down to bantamweight is eating everything out of you, you know?
It killed me. I don't even know why I've done it, to be fair. I think it was like the Americans when I was training, because at that point I was training a lot in America, and it's just obviously the Americans they cut a lot of weight, so they kind of not force me, they kind of talked me into dropping the bantam, and like I done it, and I wore the t-shirt. I ain't doing it ever again now. So
oh no, it was just it took away from you. Like you could tell, you could just the way that you walked the next day, the way that even when I seen you in the change room walking,
important stuff. Eyes poking out. Like
even the next day after rehydration, you could just tell you weren't huge. You know what I mean? It was just extreme.
Yeah, it was crazy, but
an extreme cut. I mean, you didn't have a small cut to feather, right?
No, it was. Yeah, no, I was walking around about 75 roughly.
Yeah.
And obviously, when it got to about fight week, I was around about 71.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was comfortable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't comfortable, but yeah, no, it was doable.
It was comfortably uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one.
Yeah, that's like for me. If I do like 72, I'm all right with it. When I have to go to 70, it starts to, like a few weeks out, I have to really think I can't have that bar chart. I can't have that biscuit. I know I've got 6 kilos of water to do minimum.
Yeah, but you're like me. You like your food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, I fucking love my food. Obviously, my mum's Thai, so she cooks a lot of Thai food, and it's hard not to eat that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And especially if people are cooking it for you. If you've got to cook your own food, then you can be more selective. But if people are cooking you nice food as well, you're like, oh, fuck. Go on. I can squeeze it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. But I've done it. I don't know if it's the right way I've done it, but I've still done it. Made weight every time.
You for me, I would say you're probably the most professional guy I trained with or have been associated with in the UK. I would say, going back, because I've known you so long and seen you for, I would say you're probably the most professional. As in, you took fighting as a profession when other people weren't really, like back in our day, lots of people did it because they thought they could have a scrap and stuff, and it was cage fighting. It wasn't even MMA, and you were like a professional guy.
I was the new era of that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mixed it up at that time when it wasn't very evolved.
Yeah.
So
well, I remember. How old were you when you got your black belt?
So I've had it 7 years, just over 7 years now. So to be fair, because I came away from the BJJ and I came back, you know what I mean? So I was like coming away and coming and going from it. I was just doing it for MMA at the time, so I wasn't really interested in BJJ. I just done it.
Yeah.
So now I've been a black belt for 7 years. I've got my second. I've got my second degree at the moment, and so about 7.5 years.
Which is like really long. I remember when we were doing a lot of BJJ, Trojan and stuff. You were like light years ahead. You just like then obviously Matt Sellers started training with us, and he was a big, heavy version, hard version. So he was like he could get away with stuff that wasn't necessarily technical, but he just had the build where you couldn't do anything to him, or he could just be strong in positions. You were like inverting when like nobody inverted. You didn't roll when people inverted on you, and like you were in, like purple belt, you were inverting in like hip escaping that other people didn't do, pulling like butterfly guard when people were like, I can remember rolling on the mat and we were like, what the fuck is he doing? Just light years ahead of everyone,
Yeah, no, I mean, luckily I had someone like Charlie backing me, so like you as you know, acted like a father to me. He sent me down to like people like Brolio to go and have private lessons with him on a weekly and stuff like that. Just to build up my knowledge.
Yeah,
so, that helped a lot. Yeah, so that was good. You know what I mean?
It does help a lot. And Charlie, like I didn't really appreciate Charlie as much as I should have until I started teaching, and you see the bullshit excuses and you hear. I mean, listen, there's no two ways about it. When I first started, I didn't like getting it. I liked to grapple. Then when we would spar and I'd enjoy sparring, but you'd drop me with a body shot and Charlie would get you to punch me on the ground or something. And I just.
Hey, mate, I was a youngster, mate. I'm sorry for that. I apologize now.
Exactly. better. I haven't come out of that any better, Ron. Oh, I was only a kid, Wes. Oh, hang on. I didn't appreciate that. Not that I felt singled out. I felt a bit like, fuck me, why am I not getting a break? And now when I look back, it's because Charlie was like, you've got to get through this. Once you've got through this, you'll never look back and think, oh, I wish I wasn't as hard or I wish I wasn't as tough. And he was trying to push me, but at the same time, he didn't have the time to just worry about me being a fucking pansy. We had a really big elite fight team, so
at that time, Trojan was one of the best in the country, wasn't it? You know what I mean? It was like we had people from all over the world traveling to train with us.
Yeah. And ass kickers, not just people from across the world. Like, I mean, you think of like people who came to Trojan and would have maybe started like Zelg. Like, Zelg is a world class fucking striker.
Exactly.
World class. Then you had people like John Phillips started his career with us. Do you know what I mean? He used to travel from Wales to come train with us. People came from America. People like, it was just, we had James obviously at heavyweight, who take whatever you want to say about his skill, was at the highest level of fucking MMA at the time.
Exactly. So
then we had Gary Turner would come up, and Pele was there, obviously, like striking wise. It was just, it was.
Yeah, no, I do miss those days. To be fair, I wish we had that now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, you could go to gyms. You could go to gyms now, and they wouldn't have the talent pool that was there.
Definitely not. Definitely not, mate. No, it's a shame that you didn't carry it on, but
yeah. What made you get into it? Like, what made you like? Were you? Yeah, was it Charlie? Charlie sort of took you down the line, or you were already interested?
No, Charlie carried on further for me, but I got into it because obviously I met Charlie at a local Thai boxing club.
Yeah.
So obviously that's how I met Charlie. Luckily, I bumped into him. Then he helped further my career. But like I got into it. Obviously, I used to love watching WWF. I used to love watching like Jean-Claude Van Damme videos, Jackie Chan. I used to love all that shit as a kid. You know, my brother was into Thai boxing. Obviously, he didn't ever compete. He just liked to watch it. You know, because he's fully Thai himself. So yeah, he followed it a lot, and then we just started going to a local Thai boxing club, and then I met Charlie, and obviously from there, like the rest is history, basically. You know what I mean? I started doing like jiu-jitsu as well. It weren't like Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It was like a modern sort of Japanesey jiu-jitsu. Got my black belt in that. Yeah, and it was good, man. Yeah, that's it.
How old were you when you first competed?
In MMA?
No, at anything.
Oh, anything. About 13, 14. That was like a jiu-jitsu competition. Yeah. Which is like at the time that like it was at that, like I said, it was that Japanese jiu-jitsu competition. Like it used to be called a kumite, which basically you could strike like karate style of striking, and you could take them down and submit them and stuff like that as well. Yeah. So, I mean, it weren't like traditional as in like wrist locks and like a Aikido type.
Yeah.
It was like more of like a sporty. So it wasn't. I would say it wasn't far from BJJ, but it's it was along those lines, I think, but not quite, nowhere near as good as BJJ.
Yeah. It was like the beginnings of MMA sort of shit. Like you can strike a bit, and there's some takedowns. Exactly. And then so what about your first proper striking fight?
15, 14, 15, something like that. Yeah, just
a Thai fight or a boxing match or
Thai boxing.
Yeah, full Thai rules or?
It was like three. It was like 3 2-minute rounds or 3-minute rounds. I can't remember. It was started off with what you call C class at the time, and so it's just like like the knee to the head, just the basic rules like that. So it was no shin guards, and it was full on. It was full on. Apart from that, no elbows, no knees to the head, but it was allowed. Do you know what I mean? I was fighting adults at the time, which is quite a daunting thing when you're a kid, when you're a teenager, right? And I just got used to it. You know what I mean? Like my nerves in comparison to when I was fighting those days to my last fight, it's still the same. Like, you know what I mean? You still get the same nerves, don't you, every time? I'm not sure about you, but
I remember your first MMA fight I fought on the same show, and it was I can't think, Paul Hennessy show. It was
Oh, that one. That wasn't my first MMA fight, but
first under pro rules, right?
no, it was like my
No?
second. It was one of my earlier ones. It was
Yeah,
one of my earlier ones. Yeah, because obviously when I fought in Shuto,
yes,
Holland, that was
yeah,
my first pro MMA fight, and I had to, because I was 17 at the time. I had to lie about my age because I was training at Mike's gym.
yeah,
I lied about my age, and I fought a French guy,
yeah.
Nayib Hezam or something. His name was, I can't remember, but he's done well. He's done all right since. But yeah, I beat him. Fucking cracked me. Oh, fucking hell, that's an adult punch. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But, yeah, I beat him. I ended up beating him with armbar or triangle. I can't remember. But yeah, and then obviously.
yeah. Because I remember that night we both fought on the same card. But I remember you were nervous. I can remember you being nervous, and I can remember me being like, it was my third fight, I think, and I was like,
Yeah.
I always. Like, I don't really get nervous. I don't. It's hard to explain for me. I just want it to happen. I'm like, I'm not nervous.
Yeah.
Like, let's just fucking get on with it now. Because whilst I'm stood around here, I don't want to fight. So let's just get in there and let's just have a fight, you know. And I see some people like, I mean, James Thompson used to be sick a load before he used to fight. He used to get really nervous at some stages, you know. And other high level guys would get really nervous. And I used to be like a bit like, let's just do it now. I don't, like, even on the door when it's going to kick off on the door or something. It's the argument. First of all, I don't like. If we're fighting, we're fighting. If we're not, let's not have all this horrible bit, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean. You just want to cut straight to the chase, don't you? You don't
Yeah,
want to do the in between part. That's the nerve wracking. The
yeah,
waiting. You know what I mean?
exactly. So to be young like you were, and at the beginning of the sport, of course now loads of young people fight, but to be young and in the sport like you were, I can imagine it must have been daunting. Like a boy.
You got to remember at that time it was like all testosterone, like you said, it was all like doormen and like people who think they're street fighters doing it. You know what I mean? It wasn't as much of a sport in those days, was it? It wasn't as like a skilled sport. It was more of a fight.
It was a fight, yeah.
Yeah.
If it was a skilled sport, I'd have lost a lot.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, true. Yeah. You would have. Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, no. Now it's a sport, isn't it? It's a skilled sport now.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? That's the difference between now and then. But yeah. No, I'm glad I kind of paved the way for some of the people, some of the lads. You know.
So, oh mate, I paved the way 100%. Yeah, especially in your area. Like, it's nuts that Cheltenham was like the hub for one of the biggest teams in the UK. What the fuck is on in Cheltenham? Do you know what I mean? Like some nice architecture and a race course.
The Gold Cup, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's it.
That's about it. I mean, I think you had Chris from Love Island as well. That's about.
No, we got my mate Frankie. He was in a couple Love Islands ago.
Oh yeah.
He was in Love Island only for a couple of weeks, but he was.
But it's a hub. It was a hub for like one of the biggest MMA clubs the whole of England's ever seen. You know.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah.
So you went to Mike's gym a lot. Like, for people who are listening who don't really know the name Mike's gym, A, wash your mouth out, and B, it's like where Manhoff was from, Badr Hari, like top guys.
Yeah, loads of fighters there.
Like, I only went there once, and it wasn't on a sparring day. So I used to hear stories about like what it was like at Mike's, and people used to say like it was fight day, it wasn't sparring day, you know.
Oh, mate, horrible. It was horrible. Yeah. I used, talking about nerves, I used to get nervous for that as well. Yeah. They used to have like dorms in the gym, so that's where I'd stay. Later on down the line, and like, I used to sit in the bedroom thinking about the sparring sessions. The next thing, oh my god, you know, just try and pick my partners wisely, try and pick the kids. You know what I mean? But even then, they're hard as well.
Like, Mike wasn't managing it. Mike went, right, you with you. You're just here to spar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's footage, isn't there, online? The two brothers, Grownhart brothers, and they're going at it with each other, like real hard. But it's about online somewhere. It was quite viral like for like MMA pages and stuff like that.
I
But
would have seen it, I'm sure. I mean, it was
you would have seen it, but
it was like
a while ago.
gyms like an underground, low ceilinged sort of like basement-y sort of place, isn't it? I mean, it was like you were like enclosed, and everything looked worse because everyone was rammed in there, and it was all tight and all enclosed together.
Exactly, it's like a national sport over there. They got kickboxing.
Oh yeah,
Mate, it's crazy.
yeah,
Crazy.
it's massive. And so that was your first pro fights out there.
Yeah.
Baptism of fire.
No, not that fight. It wasn't that fight, but I think like a couple of other fights down the line over there. I had like Alistair Overeem in my corner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A skinny Alistair Overeem. This is when he was fighting Pride.
Yeah. This is when he was good.
Not Alistair Overeem 2.0, where he's
yeah.
The
resurrection. Yeah. Like Alistair then. Man, when I watch Alistair now, I'm like, you should retire because you're not even an example of what you were.
But then you say that, and then he pulls it off sometimes. You know what I mean? Yeah. His last fight, he smashed him, didn't he?
Yeah, he beat his last fight. I can't remember who it was, but he does this. His striking now looks like his worst part of his game.
I know.
I watched it. What's happened?
He was a K1 champ at one stage, wasn't he? Like K1 stand-up K1.
Yeah. He's had like amazing fights. With like, he fought Badder. Did he beat Badder Harry?
He beat Badder Harry once, I think, and then Badder Harry come back to beat him.
Yeah, like one of the best strikers that was ever. Like growing up, obviously, beginning of the sport, when you see Alistair, you're like, oh man, this guy's strong. Now you watch him, like you're not even in the top 10 of strikers in the heavyweight division.
No, I know. But saying that, Go Kansaki as well. He got knocked out in the UFC. It's nuts how the small gloves could change it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Change the game massively.
And then Crow got knocked out by Gonzaga with a head kick.
Yes. Yeah, with his own move.
Yeah, left high head kick. Right.
Well, there's no small glove excuse there because it's a shin.
No, it's a big shin excuse, that one, mate. Yeah. It's a big shin excuse. Do you think you'll encourage your little one to train and fight?
Oh, I do. I don't want to be one of those pushy parents. You know, if he does it, then I'll be fully behind him. See what I mean? I'll say that, but I'll probably force him straight away. Like, get in there.
I'm not saying I'll force him, Wes, but I've already got his shorts made.
Now, I've come across it loads. You know, at my time of coaching, get so many pushy parents, and the kids just go off it by the time they're like in their teens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the problem. You get loads of talent, but their parents are too pushy. And then by the time they're in their teens, they're sick of it. They're sick of their parent pushing them and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, mate, I hear you. Like kids who I've taught before, young kids. I've taught like kids who were like 5, 6 and stuff, and literally the parents are shouting. I'm like, "Oi, Sammy, pay attention!" I'm like, leave him. Like I would rather he was in the gym every session, running around ignoring me, than at home, because in a minute he's gonna feel so comfortable that he's here, he'll start paying attention. Like just let them be here, let them have fun, because training's got to be fun before it's learning at the moment. Let them have fun. Eventually you'll start learning, and then as it progresses, you see people, they think, oh yeah, my son's got a bit of talent, but they don't let that develop. They want to force it out of them.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's true. That's true. So hopefully he gets into it. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll just see when we can't really say anything now. Already.
Hopefully he'll be into it, but it is all he's going to be allowed to watch.
Yeah. He ain't been watching no Peppa Pig or anything like that. Straight away. UFC 1. From the beginning.
When's the last time you fought?
Crawford. So Daniel Crawford. I lost that fight. Not cool. Yeah, Bama. Yeah. So obviously I lost my last 2 fights. One, the Lapilus I lost to on points. Crawford I got caught. Just got swarmed on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of them. To be fair, I wasn't in the fight. I was coming towards the end, and it was just going through emotions for me. At the time. I still look at the featherweights now. I think, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say no names in particular, but I think sometimes I get the itch, and sometimes I do it. And then I'll stand up and shadow box a little bit, and then I get tired. fuck this. That's what I stop.
Yeah.
Nah.
I know, mate. I was talking to Shaky. I did one of these with Shaky the other day, and I was talking to him, and he said like he's 50 years old. He still gets the urge now. He still wants to do stuff, and like like Paul Reed, and I'm like he's 50, coming on 50. He's still getting the urge, and I'm like, for me, all the time, I wake up every morning thinking I could still do it, and then I spar with our guys who are coming through the ranks. I'm like, yeah, I could do. Or Nad when he had his last fight, I'm sparring with Nad and stuff, training with him. I could still do this. And then one morning I wake up and I can't put my sock on, and I'm like, fucking hell. What?
That's why I didn't do it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it just, also it's the stuff you have to give up. Like,
exactly. That's the other thing.
Even doing this would be hard. Doing podcasts, slotting in an hour and a half to 2 hours to do this would be really friggin' hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Because your whole day is everything to do with fighting, you know?
Yeah. Obviously, yeah, life goes on hold for training, doesn't it, really, basically?
Yeah, exactly. Everything's training. And
like, obviously, the lengths I used to go through in my training camps, I don't think I could do that now, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean?
If I was to put myself into another fight, like, obviously I used to travel to America or travel to Holland or something. I don't mean get myself away so I could purposely for that fight. But do it now, especially if I don't one on the way.
Yeah, it's the thing as well. You don't want to. Like that's the other thing. Like it's not like you could do it if you made the sacrifice, but do you want to make the sacrifice? No, I don't want to be away from the people I love and the people I want to spend time with, so that other people can punch me in the face anymore.
Exactly, but I do get the urge sometimes. Tomorrow, if you ask me tomorrow, I might think differently.
Yeah. Do you train much?
Yeah, I still train. I'll still get the rolling in. I'll still have a little spar here and there.
Yeah. You know
what I mean? So obviously, it's with like my students at my place and stuff more than anything. I don't go anywhere specific.
Yeah.
It's more down at my gym. Helping them prepare for their stuff.
But you got good level guys there, right? Like the Figlacs are training with you a bit now, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I coach them now.
And the younger, is it Michael, the younger one?
Michael, yeah, that's it.
He's looking like a fucking monster.
Mate, they're both monsters.
Yeah,
they are. They're both beasts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wait for them to get out there and show their talent.
Like obviously, I really paid attention to Michael because he was fighting Bernie, so I watched a bit of tape on him and stuff and that. And then when he fought Bernie, he was 10 times better than his previous fight. It was like a different person.
Remember, he's in early 20s. He's in his early 20s. So
yeah, and I think also their styles brought out the best in each other, and Michael just had that bit more that day to give, that bit more. Like, not even that he wanted it more, he just had that bit more in him. And I watched him in that fight. And of course, I spar with Bernie, so I know Bernie's no joke. But I could tell Bernie wasn't performing like Bernie after the first round because Michael had an answer for everything. Or when Bernie landed a big shot, and he would say wobble him, for want of a better word, if he would say wobble him or move him back, Michael would find a way to recover, circle off, take the time. He wouldn't be like a young 1-0 fighter who just wanted to re-engage and get the fight to the ground.
Yeah, no, he's a beast, mate. He's been doing it since he was young. I mean, I was sparring with him in preparation for my last few fights.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're beasts. They're both beasts, like I said. Right? Obviously, Matt's the bigger, rangier one. He fights at welterweight now. I mean, he was unlucky against his Ian Gary.
Tough fight. Tough.
Yeah, ever since then he's proved himself and he's smashed his recent opponents. So yeah. You know. But the only problem with Matt, he's got fragile hands at the moment. He's broke his hand and I don't think he got it repaired properly. And ever since then, every time he touches it, it breaks. It's so fragile.
Is he like for is he? Oh yeah, I remember your arm, mate.
Fuck. Yeah.
So people like that. I don't know what Matt's like, mate. To like coach, like, can you hold him back or does he always want to train? Like, can you like people like that? A lot of the time, you can't. You're like, listen, just have a couple of weeks of not eating bags, not eating pads. Just do.
You can't keep them out of the gym. That's the problem. You can't keep them out of the gym. They got keys to the gym. They go there. They're literally there every day, twice a day. Like, literally, I'll go there in the morning. They're there. Like, I can go home. You know what I mean? Off. You know what I mean? That's yeah. You can't get rid of them. No, I don't want to get rid of them, obviously, but they're They're just there all the time.
I hope they listen to this and realise that you don't want them there anymore. That's perfect.
They're an asset to the team, to be fair. I mean,
Like, to be fair, I mean, I got no. Listen, this is the fight game, and I've coached lots of people. And Bernie's a teammate, and they had their fight, and and Mike beat him fair and square in a really good close fight. I had Mike winning it. Some people said, "Oh, I had Bernie," but I had Mike winning it. So by a round. So for me,
good. I mean, Bernie's decent, man. I don't know why he's laid off it. Well, obviously lockdown, but
and 2 kids lockdown. 2 kids. He runs Sweatbox as well. So it's one of those things. Like then he promotes True as well. So that he put a lot of work into that. He did that. He was going to fight near that, but then I don't think he realized how much effort True was going to take. That out of him. He is an absolute beast, and he's one of those stupid people who, like, I can be on top of him, but he can just, with no technique, explode and you're off him. Do you know what I mean? He's got one of those stupid, explosive, powerful type bodies. But in that fight, look at you. I can't say anything bad about Mike from that fight. I had him winning it, and he looked class. He got clipped with a few big shots. He fought really well. What can you say? And he's gone on to do brilliant things. His last fight, I thought he looked superb.
Yeah, against the guy from Next Gen, isn't it? Knocked him out. And the one before that, Oban Elliott. Yeah, killed him. You know.
Yeah. So you work with them guys a lot, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I don't like. Obviously, I don't take the credit for like their matchmaking for them or managing them. But I do train them with their grappling, and I hold the pads for them and stuff. And they come. Obviously, they train at my gym 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Go to Trojan, do their sparring, and then obviously Paul man.
Yeah.
Stuff. So, I do like them a lot. They're good lads. They're good lads.
How often are you coaching?
Me, pretty much every day. To be fair, mate. Yeah.
Full time.
Yeah, full time. That's my job. So,
yeah. And working with how much of that's working with fighters?
To be fair, not that much. I mean, about a quarter of the time. Yeah. You know what I mean, it's hard at the moment. Everyone wants to do it as a hobby. You know what I mean? It's new to everyone now. It's cool now, isn't it? Cool.
Yeah.
I see BJJ is like that sort of cool sport to do.
Yeah.
It's not like a cheesy martial art. It's not like karate back in the day. Do you know what I mean?
It's like it's the new surfing. Like BJJ, new surfing. Like, I've obviously trained a lot in California, and you can go to somewhere like Studio 540, and it's like the coolest place in the world to be. There's no affiliation, so the amount of people who just roll through there, and next minute you're on the mat, and like Marcelo's just popped in with someone, or Dylan Dennis has come by, and you're on there doing a no-gi, and he's do you want to roll? It's mind-blowing that it's just so cool a thing that, like, it's flip-flops and shorts, and it's like...
Exactly. And going back, talking about the politics thing, it's just crazy, isn't it? When it comes to PJJ and stuff, politics and stuff, I can't stand it. We need more places like you were talking about there, Gym 540, whatever it's called.
Gym 540,
yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, we came up like that. Like, that's how because of Trojan, we had open door policy. Then when I had Olympians, obviously, I encouraged it. Let's get as many people down to spar as we could. So you had you lot, then the Welsh lot would come, and we'd have sometimes there'd be 12, 14 of us all ranked.
Exactly.
A great session. The politics side of it, for me, I think, why the whole point of this sport is evolve and be the best you can be by amalgamating lots of different things.
Exactly.
Why are you not training with as many different people as you can?
Fucking weird, I think, but
it's weird.
It is. It's one of them, isn't it?
It is. What I've always wondered this. What would you think is your toughest fight?
My toughest fight? Fucking myself, mate. In my head, going back to the nerve things. Yeah, myself. Yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of tough fights, but my toughest fight was, like I said, it's me. At the end of the day.
You think saying that, you think sports psychology and stuff could have helped you, or is it just stuff that you?
Yeah, I used to get a lot of sports psychology sessions off of Tony. Tony uses a doctor now, Tony Myers. That used to help me a lot. But but it's still always going to be there. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them really. I know it's just battling nerves all the time. I mean, fight game's a fight game. You know you're always going to be in for a tough fight no matter what. I mean, sometimes you might finish them quick, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I can't think what my I'm just trying to think of what fights I did out in terms of toughness. The shark fights, my world title fight. Shark fights. That was quite tough. That was 5 rounds. That was my first 5-rounder I've ever done.
Different kettle of fish training for 5 rounds.
Oh, mate. Fucking hell. Like 2 marathons. One.
Mate, I remember when I did it for when I fought Mamor 4, I had to train for 5 rounds, and I just knew when I step in there's no one in the UFC or anywhere else who's more prepared or fitter, or I've done it. I can't be any more at my peak, because if you're doing 5 rounds, you can't opt out. At 3 rounds, you sort of find places to, but when there's 5 rounds, there's none of that.
Yeah. No, it's hard. You've got to be a beast for 25 minutes.
Yeah, you're going to hit your exhaustion mark in training, and you're still going to have rounds left, 100%.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that was pretty tough. More so for the physical side of things. Ashley Grimshaw back in my early days in my first fight with him.
Oh yeah, cage rage. Yeah,
that was a bit funny, wasn't it? That was a good little fight. That was
a tough fight because you were young as well. So you're young. The biggest stage you could be on ever in the UFC, really, or Pride, really. So stage, amazing card, and an amazing fight with you two. Yeah, that was was that the same one as Manhoff versus Cyborg? Same card.
No, that was the second fight I fought. No, that wasn't that card anyway. No, it wasn't that card. But you're talking about Cage Rage on the main show. No, the first fight I had with him on Cage Rage. Yeah, so that was in Caesar's Palace.
Yeah.
At the Caesar's nightclub, whatever it's called. Caesar's. Who was it? Caesar's? Oh, I can't even bloody remember.
It was Caesar's nightclub, wasn't it?
Something like that. Yeah, in London somewhere.
I was there. That's all I know. I was there.
Yeah, no, and that was a tough fight. That was a tough little scrap. I mean, it ended up being a draw, didn't it? A majority draw. I thought I won, to be fair, but
that's the one where you jump in the air.
Yeah,
that's the card.
You use that for the DVD cover and all that. They use that for like their little promos and stuff. Yeah, that was when we was allowed to stamp in what's it called in Cage Rage.
Yeah,
they tried to implement the Pride rules in their own little way, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because it was like I don't know, you had to wait for the referee to allow you to do it or something.
You had to say open, didn't you? Like you're open and stuff, and then once you're open, you could jump on them or stamp on them. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, wasn't it? It was a bit different, but yeah, that was good.
That was wicked. I remember I always wanted to fight with stamps or headbutts, and there was one show called Fin Fight, still allowed headbutts. So I got offered a fight. Either Paul or someone negotiated me a fight in Fin Fight, and I was like, yes, I can fight with headbutts, just because I might have got my ass kicked, but how cool is it to fight with headbutts? It's like it's gone now, you know? So I was like, wicked. And then something like a month before, the Finnish government made him change the rules and you couldn't headbutt. I was like, well, I'm fighting there now. I don't want to go and fight some really hard Finnish guy if I can't headbutt each other. Like, no, I'm not in.
No, what else? Oh, I forgot now. Well, there was another fight as well that was quite tough. It just sprung to mind. But yeah, no, Robbie Oliver was quite tough.
Yeah.
And took me down. I lost that fight obviously on points, but it was just so frustrating. Like at the time, I never really fought like a solid wrestler like him.
Yeah.
He fought an English guy who was quite a good wrestler.
Yeah. And a grinder. His style was not like a take you down like a John Stitch or something. A grinder. Like when he fought Lee Remedios as well. Like Robbie Oliver can take a punch, so he'll take a punch to get in on you. He can take a punch, and then when he gets on top, he's grinding and like working away at you.
It was just more frustrating more than anything. I just couldn't do anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I knew he wouldn't finish me, but I knew, at the same time, it's just one of them. Like, it's just he kept taking me down. I was like, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them.
Yeah, and he had that man strength on you as well. He was older, wasn't he? A bit.
That too. I was still young, so you got to remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a who's who there, mate. Like going back, I can't remember the last time I fought someone like Robbie Oliver. That is like right back in the day.
Yeah.
But what a guy, man! This I sit here now talking to you about fighting, and it's such a like you just realise it's such a different sport.
Yeah, I remember getting through the post MMA. Is it MMA Universe?
Yeah.
Back in the day, and I used to get the flyers for what was the one in Bristol?
All that.
Ultimate Combat. You was on there.
Yeah.
James Thompson. All those lot back in the
Ross
day.
Mason.
And I was like, I think I was like 13, 14 at the time. I was like, I want to go and watch that. I never got to watch it. Obviously, no one would take me to Bristol to watch it. But I used to get flyers and like try and get say one of my nan also wanted to take me, Jan the Chav. You know what I mean? But she was having it.
Well, not coming. It wasn't like
I know she'd be made event, mate.
It was like it was like you look at it now, and I'm like, there's not a single fight on the cards that would realistically you would look at on an MMA fight now and your card now, and you'd be like, yeah, that was all right. Like, I even like Ross Mason had really good stand up, and I watch it now, and I'm like, fucking hell, like that's like, there's so many holes in that game.
Yeah,
like, just,
exactly.
Like, Sol Gilbert and people like them were like huge.
Yeah.
And you watch them now, and you're like, and then me, I was like nearly up near the top of the card. I'm like, I was a fucking donut who did judo.
Yeah. Who else was there? Obviously, you had all the locals from Bristol, like Kev O'Hagan and stuff, didn't you, back in the day doing it? Who else?
Fight against Sammy Berry.
Kev O'Hagan, wasn't it? Thingy Dojo, what's it called?
What's that?
That's where you started, wasn't it?
Yes, with Kev. They never had their dojo. Then Kev used to teach out of a little like underground place in Kingswood, and he used to teach like we shadow box and stuff with MMA gloves on the whole class, and it was just like circuits and sprawls that we'd have your MMA gloves on. Teach some stuff, and then me and James, obviously James, like, oh yeah, you should do this. But I think it was because I was a judo guy, so I knew a little bit of ground stuff. So James would want me to help with ground stuff, and so him and I used to train together every day. So he'd be my main sparring partner, and we'd go see Kevin O'Hagan, or we'd go see Arthur Meek. So that would be like our two guys. He's like K2, I think his club's called now, Arthur's, isn't it? Like Mark Godbeer's trained out of there and stuff. And that was like our training. My training partner was James Thompson, and I'd get to roll a bit with Kevin O'Hagan.
Yeah, I remember that. Jesus, whatever happened to that? Who's the promoter?
Dale, and there was another guy, Ben. Dell and Ben, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of Dell's last name, but I don't know what happened, but they've got a YouTube channel now, so all the fight shows are up on their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Ultimate Combat YouTube. So if you want to go back and see how bad.
You posted one on Facebook the other day. Is that Ultimate Combat?
Yep. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Were you embarrassed?
No. That's like You've done the dance, I think.
Done the dance, mate.
Done the dance. Last 2 pence.
Oh my god. And then I remember Ultimate Combat were so big into like press and stuff back in the day. So I did that dance, and then it was in like it wasn't Fighters Only, but it's a magazine like that. And they mentioned the dance, and they were talking about the dance. So in the next show, they were like, "Oh, if you win, you're going to do the dance." I was like, "Yeah, it's my victory." I beat Thomas Henriksen, and I had to do the dance because I felt obliged. So I did the dance at the end of like I got a decision that one. So I did the dance. I was like, "Fuck me, when's this gonna end?" And then the next one was like, "You're gonna do the dance." I was like, "Oh." So I still do the dance now.
Yeah. Part of you now, isn't it? You know, you're known for the dance.
Not a lot else to known for.
Hey, you should have done it on Take Me Out. I'm just saying. Just saying, mate. You'd have been going to Fernando's.
Mate, perhaps I just shouldn't have gone on Take Me Out.
Just saying, you could have done it because I reckon the girl would have left the light on. That dance.
Just one girl.
Yeah, you'd have. Well, yeah, loads of them. You know.
What a fucking awful thing to do after winning a fight. So stupid dance, like and still I have to do it now. So I do it like when I beat Lawrence. I did the dance because what am I like? You got to do the dance, right?
Kicking half that was.
Oh, it was alright. Yeah, it just like.
That That was a good. That was no, mate. That was nice. That was really lovely.
Like, you would have had this. When you have a fight, like I had it in my head. We spoke before, and I was like, I'm just going to pressure him. I'm going to pressure him. And Paul Reed was like, wrestle him, take him down. Like, he's going to hit hard, wrestle him, take him down. So we started like trading, and he clinched with me. And as soon as he clinched with me, I was like, oh, there's no way you can take me down. There's no, like, you could pick me up, but you're not going to take me down. Your wrestling's not good enough. And then at one point, I shot on him, and I was like, fuck, he's strong. Because he's short as well.
He's a strong boy, mind. I mean, I trained with him. Yeah, because obviously he trains. He's from Trojan, isn't he? So I go there to spar like later on down the line. So yeah, he's a strong boy. He's not technically he's not there.
Yeah.
Technically he's not very good at all, but strong. Yeah, he's strong. He's got physical strength. Yeah.
He was strong. Yeah, and then once we started boxing, I heard Paul shout to him, "Don't box with him," and I was like, "Oh, that's it, man." Like, I'm just gonna come at you now. I'm ready. But everything was like, I just felt eventually like. Things have slowed down, and I'm in complete control. I can just walk at you.
You looked it. To be fair, you looked it. Like,
thanks, mate.
Mate, I was obviously because obviously he's from Cheltenham. Obviously, Cheltenham's quite a small town. And obviously, everyone knows everyone. And obviously, I was sat with a lot of Cheltenham lot, and I was obviously cheering for you.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking at me like, "What the fuck? You're meant to be one of us. You're meant to be supporting Lawrence."
Watch the video back now, mind, and clarify that, Ron. Don't just. If I ever hear you talking to Lawrence, you're like, I was cheering for you, Lawrence, the whole time.
No, I was cheering. Because we would go back, because 18 years, isn't it?
That's it.
There you go. 17 years at that time, wasn't it?
Yeah, 17 years later. Yeah, there's a relationship somewhat there. Yeah, it's a relationship. But then you, mate, you did something as well that. I don't know if any UK guy's really going to get a chance to now. And you fought MMA in Japan.
Oh yeah, I did.
That was my dream, really. Like, I would have liked to have gone UFC, obviously. Like, I went to the Ultimate Fighter, so I wanted to go UFC. I'd be a dickhead saying I didn't. But like, my dream now, if I got a phone call now to fight in Japan, I would 100% take the fight. I always go in there and cornering in pride. I was like, wow, this is like, it's so different to the US. It's so different to everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, like, I remember, I probably left a skidder in my pants because the fireworks were so loud at the beginning of the show. I was like, fucking hell, I didn't even realise how loud they were. Like, we went because they introduced us first to the crowd before the events, like the event, and like these fireworks just went off at the middle of nowhere. Fucking shit myself, and like I think you've seen me jump as well. Like, you know what I mean? The other lads in the competition obviously been there and done it. Like, that was my first time. Like, I was like, bloody hell. And on that the first trip there, I was on the same plane as Oasis.
What?
Oasis. We're on the same plane. Like, I didn't speak to him. I seen him at the immigration, the queue, because I had to queue up in a different queue because I had a different type of visa.
Yeah.
And they had a performance visa. And then we was in the same queue thinking, I was like looking at him and I was like, look at that. I said to Paul Seven at the time he was with me, I said, look at those wannabes there. And he goes, no, that's actually Oasis. I was like, bloody hell.
Fuck you hell. I mean, they're not the most approachable, so you couldn't really have gone.
No.
But that's fucking amazing. Like, obviously, I'm a massive Oasis fan, so it's really amazing for me. But that's fucking wicked. That's almost as good as going to Japan and fighting.
Yeah, I know. I went to Japan and bumped into Oasis in Japan.
That's fucking incredible.
They didn't go to a show, but
well, not that you know of.
Well, maybe they did, but
Liam Gallagher might have one MMA story ever, and it'd be of watching you in Japan. You don't even know
it. Mate, yeah. Did you go to when you went to Japan? Did you go to Roppongi?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, how good is Roppongi?
Amazing.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Mate,
Quentin Jackson didn't even go to the show, and I bumped into him out there.
Oh, mate, Quentin Jackson was a nightmare when we were there, like partying, and then we went out. So me, Saeed, who's always a nightmare to go out with, Saeed, James, Mark Hunt, Joachim Hansen. There was a guy called James Tahuno who went on and had a good career. He was Mark Hunt's cornerman, like one of his protégés at the time. But he fought in the UFC and stuff, James Tahuno.
I think of him, yeah.
Yeah, good, like a good guy. There was someone else. So we go out. So we go out to get this restaurants and stuff. And this Japanese guy runs out this restaurant. He's like, JJ Thompson! JJ And we're like, what the fuck? He's like pushing people off tables to get them to come in and sit down. And I was like, this is fucking insane. So we're walking, we have food, we leave, we go in this bar. Quentin Jackson's already in there on his own, just drinking, dancing, like whatever. Well, this is before the fight. This is like the night before the fight or whatever. Like 2 nights before, something like that. Just dancing on his own, chatting and whatever, just being like rampage. Already there before everyone. We turn up and they were like, "Fuck me!" Just like out of blue, rampage is already there and we're pungy.
Crazy.
So he went to a bar there, really nice, like 5-star like bar. So we go in. We got in because we like had pride passes and stuff. So go there. It was wicked. It sang, and then next minute, it's like 5 a.m. Saeed's pissed. He's like, "I'm not going home. I'm gonna carry on going out. Let's go." So we go wandering around Rapungi. We find this club. So somebody's like, "Oh, club, come, club." So we go into this elevator, which is in like behind like in a greengrocers or something. So we go in this elevator and we go to like this floor. There's a guy sat in the elevator on a stool. I'm like, something don't feel right here, man. It just doesn't. It's a bit weird. So the elevator doors open, boom, opens. The bar's like leather, and then the room's like red velvety with like. It reminded me of like an old pool hall with like red velvet chairs and that, but like quite upmarket. So we go in. I was like, Saeed, we should just leave, man. He's like, I'm getting a drink. It's too early to go. I'm like, fuck, you know. He's like, I want to dance. Like, of course, I'm sober as fuck, so don't drink. So I'm looking around. Next minute, all these Japanese girls are like sitting on people's laps, cuddling them and that. I was like, this is a bar, mate. This is like, and it's like in the back of a fruit market, so it's not like a legit bar. We're in like some Yakuza bars. I was like, mate, he's like, I've just paid X. And I thought, well, you paid to get in here. He's like, yeah, I had to pay the guy in the lift. I was like, who the fuck pays a guy in a lift to go to a bar? Next minute we're sat there, girls are on us straight away, like talk to us or whatever. And then Saeed cottons on. He's like, should we go? Like, yeah, let's go.
That story. That sounds like a Saeed moment.
But then walk into the lobby at like 6:30 in the morning, and Fedor and his guys there. He beat Mark Hunt with a Kimura. We walk in, Fedor and that were there. His team sat there, grabs us, makes us come over and do a shot of vodka. I'm like, no, like I don't drink. There was no, you don't drink. I had to do a shot of vodka. All just a group of Russians, just like drink. So I had to do a shot of vodka and stay for 5 minutes, and then sort of like weed your way off. You know?
Different world out there.
Oh mate, those were the days, right?
Yeah. I mean, they were the days when you'd prefer to watch Pride over UFC.
Oh, just the other day I was saying to someone, if they brought back Pride now, that would be my main source of MMA.
Yeah, definitely.
The quality of fights didn't even have to be really high. It was just insane.
I mean, the problem is the modern fan now, the people who've just got into MMA now, they probably wouldn't even know who Chuck Liddell is.
Yeah.
Let alone anyone in Pride. So.
Mate, I say this to my guys who are up and coming. I say this all the time. I'm like, listen, if you're fighting because your mates you want to hear your mates call your name, and you want to hear people say, oh, so-and-so, he's a pro MMA fighter and stuff like that. I was like, listen, people nowadays, if you ask them to name the top 5 guys, people like Anderson Silva wouldn't be in there. GSP probably won't even get a mention. Like Matt Hughes, I'm like, the only person your career is going to matter to in the end is you. Like, no matter what level you get to, like in a minute, Conor McGregor is going to be forgot about. Like, this has got to be about what you want to do. It can't be about achieving, like, just to have people cheer your name and stuff. You know?
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's true. I mean, but talking about Conor McGregor, I mean, it's him who's done this to the sport. He's brought on a load of new fans. So you've got to give it to him.
Oh, 100%.
He's made sport massive now. Do you know what I mean? Because of him, we're getting loads of people watching the sport, which is crazy. You know
Great thing that happened is the Conor McGregor fans, when Nate beat him, they became Nate Diaz fans as well. They weren't just Nate Diaz haters, they became Nate Diaz fans. And then when Khabib started beating everyone and they had their like back and forth, those people became Khabib fans. So they've stayed with the sport. He didn't just bring casual MMA viewers, he didn't stick with it.
But he did make it mainstream. Got to give him that.
Yeah.
Hate him or love him, you know, he's turned the sport to what it is today, isn't he? Really?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, I was saying, Shaky, if you had the choice, if you could be 19 now, just starting an MMA career, or if you could have the career you've had, which would you choose?
Yeah. So if I could be 19 and do what? Sorry, say that again.
Just starting an MMA career now. All the same skill. You got all the same skills that you had, but you're just starting out in MMA now. Or you would have never had the career that you've already had. Which one would you choose?
I don't know. Yeah, no, I'd probably choose the career I've already had. It's just because I've met loads of good. I've travelled the world. I've got loads of new friends out of it. I've met loads of people. You know what I mean? To be fair, I smoked my first spliff with Kevin Randleman.
Did you?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. After my Shark Fights fight, he went round his house for a barbecue. You know what I mean? It's crazy, isn't it?
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But so I wouldn't change that for the world. Do you know what I mean? Met some great people and done, doing what I've done really. So
I would say the same. I wouldn't change it for the world, because even if you get to be really well known and famous now, we were at the beginning of this shit. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I can't. Your experiences, like Randleman smoking your first fucking joint with Randleman, that's like, I'm gonna lay in bed tonight and I'm gonna lay down and think, that's fucking amazing. I smoked my first joint around the bike sheds. Green sick. Like, what?
Yeah. No, that's crazy. Yeah, when I think back to it, I think, fucking hell, I've met a lot of people. I've gone to a lot of places. Travelled the world. Ticked off loads of countries on my bucket list, and for free.
And you can do it all as a coach again. Like, it's not like you can. But there was, and no one's going to punch you in the face, and you can make the most of the free buffet.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
Hopefully it's my son. I'm not going to force him on people, but hopefully it's him. Yeah.
The most managed fighter. Be like, how good is he, Ron? He don't need to be good. I'm going to pick his fights. Oh, but what advice would you give people coming up, mate? Like, just starting out now? Look, because I think personally, you and we sparred way too much. We like, I think what we did is we were good in that we used to have sessions where I'd drive up from Bristol, maybe just be you and me, or me, you and one other, and we'd just do technical stuff. But nobody's teaching us that. We just charting around. Charlie's not here. Let's not punch each other. One of them.
No, the advice I'd give now, probably, if someone's getting into it now and wants to get a bit more serious into it, do your research on what club you go to.
Yeah,
that's the first thing. Make sure you're getting your knowledge from a reputable coach who's been there. Not actually. I say I've been there and done that, but going back to Tony Myers, he's probably one of the best Thai boxing coaches I've ever had, but he's never fought Thai boxing. So
yeah, I agree.
So, but yeah, like, it does help usually when the coaches been there and done it themselves, and they've had coaches that have been there, like they've had good coaches themselves. They come from a good lineage. So yeah, do your research before you get in there, and just go to any dog shit club. There's a lot of them about in there, really.
A lot of them, right, mate. Yeah,
a lot of them. But so yeah, that'd be my advice.
Yeah.
I mean,
what do you think about the amateur route and pro route now? With in respects of, like, we never had amateur route.
Yeah, exactly. Amateur now, it was like pro back in our day, wasn't it? Pretty much.
Yep.
Pretty much. So yeah, I mean, get the experience of your amateur. Definitely 100,000,000%, because the last thing you want to do is jump straight into the pro game.
I mean, the amateur route, for me, I always say to people, it may not be perfect for everyone. It is for 99.9%. If you come to me, let's say Mike Grundy as an example, right? You know Mike Grundy?
Yeah.
Right, Mike Grundy, for me, is someone who could go straight pro because he's got an Olympic level wrestling background. Yeah. So work on your striking, you could go straight pro. Or if you've got someone like, I don't know, what's his name? The American guy, fights Bellator, boxer, Aaron Pico.
Okay, yeah.
So Pico could go straight pro because
was Was he a wrestler?
He's a boxer, wasn't he? He's a wrestler, but he's a boxer. He used to be what's his name? Main sparring partner. Miguel Cotto's main sparring partner.
Okay.
Yeah, mate, boxing's. Freddie Roach reckons he's world champion if he's stuck at boxing. So Aaron Pico's got. He is a wrestler, yeah, but he's got high level striking as well. So you're like, right, straight pro. But if you don't have these things, even maybe go and get some boxing bouts under your belt, get some grappling. Do some stuff.
Definitely, that's again another thing. Yeah, get the amateur boxing in, get some Thai boxing matches in, get some BJJ matches in. Yeah, doing those little things help with the nerves, helps with getting used to competing against strangers, basically. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You are competing against someone you don't know. It's not the same as a gym, is it? You know what I mean? Like you yourself, if I remember correctly, like I always thought you fought a lot better than you did in the gym. And that's very, very rare for competitors. Like usually, like I don't think I compete. I don't think my level in competition was nowhere near as good as I was in the gym.
I think that's a perfect appraisal of both of us. I remember Charlie said to me one night, I just won, and Charlie sat down with me. He's like, "You're an on the night fighter, you aren't you?" And I thought, like, yeah, I probably fucking am, and. Like I just like also it was hard, like you're working the door and stuff for me. I just fucking I got to go training, didn't really want to be there. But someone like yourself, always in sparring would always. And I remember once I kicked your leg, I kicked your knee, and I was like, oh fuck, like a proper winjury. I was on the floor with a really bad leg. Like fuck.
Winjury. I remember that, the winjuries.
My foot swelled up, and we carried on sparring. We did like 5 or 6 rounds, and then at the end of the session, you went, "Yeah, it really hurt me, but I was never going to let you see it." And I thought, like, that was you. You were like in the gym. You were like the world. I could have never spoke highly enough of you as a fighter in the gym, but in the ring, maybe 7 times out of 10, you would go out and you would be that. But every now and again, I'd think, "Man, you're better than this. You're fucking like, you know."
Yeah, I mean, the fights. I mean, I've had 40 pro fights, 1 draw, 10 losses.
Yeah. Against top competition, not
yeah.
You're not like Craig Allen's fucking losing against everyone, like against top level guys.
I think 8 of those fights were down to me. 8 of those losses were down to me.
Yeah.
Between about 7, 8 of those losses that I lost, I think it was my fault why I lost. You know what I mean? I didn't perform the way I should be performing. Do you know what I mean? And I think there are fights should have and could have won. Do you know what I mean? But one of those, isn't it? You know.
Mate, I'd agree, but you can't
learn.
That was your career. You can't fucking. It's one of those things. You can't be like, oh yeah, but you gotta let it go, because if you hold into it, you can't move on as a fighter, and you're a fighter. If you harbor your loss, if you're gonna celebrate your wins, you got to celebrate your losses. It's that fucking simple. You've got. Because they both mean the same thing, you know. But when you got a loss against someone like Pat Curran, who at the time was the creme de la creme of the division, it's not. You're not losing to Bob, who stepped in last minute. Look, you were fighting at the top echelon, and for me, there's 2 people. If someone would say to me, 2 people who should have been in UFC, you 100%. I think your career would have been way better in UFC than it would have been at Bellator, 100%. So you and the other would be Judo Jim Ward. They're the 2 people I would say it's a travesty that they've never been in the UFC.
What Jimmy had?
No, Bellator never got signed, did he?
No, he mustn't have. No, he obviously didn't.
Sorry.
I thought he had.
That would be the 2 for me. Travesty that you're, or even if he has been. Now you've got me questioning. I didn't think he had.
I can't remember. I thought you had.
Yeah. But that's the travel. Like you 2 should like that. Your career should have evolved there. I think. You know.
Yeah. No. I mean, like, there were times. Obviously, I had an offer from, at the time it was WEC.
Yes.
But I was still in the contract with Sengoku.
Yeah.
So they were interested. They were showing interest, and they offered me the contract and everything. But at the same time, I was in an exclusive contract with Sengoku, who was going through some tough times with their son, and they didn't let me go. So see that opportunity was gone. They asked another time. Literally, I approached them after that when I became a free agent after Shark fights. and said, I'm free, if you want to sign me in. And apparently at that time they had too many people on the roster, so they had to get rid of a few people. And then, so I was kind of a bit limbo. And then Bellator approached me and signed me. Well, Bellator offered me a good deal, and I was like, an RN, so I kind of took it anyway because I thought, I ain't gonna hear from Thingy.
Yeah.
And then they approached me straight after I'd signed it. I was like, fuck's sake. So it's just the stars didn't align, and
Bellator screwed you a little bit, I think.
Yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? But it is what it is. It's done.
You can only fight the fights you can fight, right?
Exactly.
So, what are you doing away from fighting? Like, what's your hobbies or interests? I mean, obviously you've got a very demanding missus who you have to keep happy.
Well, yeah, I do now. She's not even in here, but
yeah.
Yeah, no, she's definitely at the moment, as we said earlier. But yeah, me, mate, I tried to do a spot fishing.
Oh yeah.
I'm shit at it. I can't.
I think that's what fishing is. Like it's just.
Yeah, no, but you've got these pictures of like big fish, like you're there like with a massive fish, and I've got like a bream, like a flying bream, like no, I ain't taking a picture of that. Of course, a big bream, mind.
I've been fishing since I was 4 as well. You got to remember.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But you've caught some big bream.
Yeah. Slimy little fuckers.
Yeah. Mate, listen. Any time I catch a bream is a disappointment, but
yeah, I hate it. No, it is a disappointment, but I just got to get it.
What sort of fishing are you doing? What sorts of course are you doing? Carp fishing or?
I'm trying to do carp fishing. I'm trying to do that, but I never catch any carp. I have the odd occasional carp, but bream and eels.
Where are you fishing?
Fucking in a puddle by the looks of it. Nah. There's some local lakes around here. They're pretty good. Like I see people like next to me, like pulling out massive carps and stuff. I'm like, yes, there's loads in this swim. I'm gonna go for it. Then I'll pull out a bream.
Mate, we'll have to
get to
that. When this shit's over, we'll go. We'll go and do an overnight. We'll do 24 hours somewhere.
Yeah, can you like take me through like a beginner course? Because I think I need to relearn. Because I used to go fishing a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then I stopped it obviously with the fighting and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I got back into it, so I bought like a budget starter kit from eBay, like carp kit. It done me well.
Catching bream.
Yeah.
Perfect for catching bream.
Yeah, it's meant to catching bream, but it done me well the first couple of times I went, and I got real chuffed. Like, yes, I caught 2 carps. I'm doing well. You know what I mean? But then ever since then, I haven't caught one since. Shit.
Mate, no, we'll go 100%. I'll take you just so that you can catch the bream, and they won't come to me. So I mean. Mate, listen, you live right by the Cotswolds. Like, it's the best carp fishing in the country, probably. I fish that all the time.
Because I don't catch anything.
Mate, I got, we'll go to a place I went recently. A lot of the time, I'll go and I'll hire a lake exclusively. Because then, like, 4 or 5 of us hire the lake exclusively. You know you ain't got people all over the place, But we'll go. We'll do a 24 hours somewhere. You got a bivvy in that?
Sorry?
You got a bivvy and stuff, a tent and everything?
Well, no, I'll buy one, no.
Yeah, but I'm there anyway. We're going. This is it. If we can fish through lockdown, which we're not sure yet, we'll go fishing. Definitely. I didn't know you would start fishing.
Even if you catch a fish, I just want to take a picture of a carp. Even if you catch it and I take the picture of it and just take the credit, at least.
I have a Photoshop. I'll just send you some other pictures of mine that haven't been posted. It's perfect.
I don't have to go out in the cold and get wet.
That's the worst.
You're in the lake and everything. I noticed that in your pictures. You're like actually in the lake.
Depends what lake it is and what fish they are. Some lakes I fish and they'll say that the fish aren't allowed to be out of the water for pictures because they're like. So some lakes I fish will be like maybe only 50, 60 fish in the whole lake.
I thought you were spearfishing.
Big lake. Like, huh?
I thought you were spearfishing.
I don't like this cross sport where you're diving and fishing at the same time.
Yeah, no, mate. I just want to catch a carp, that's all.
Mate, I've blacked
it. Like a double-hander, not like a single-handed one.
A double-hander?
A double-hander, like something that I have to carry in 2 hands. That's all
I turn into the tables. All the effort you put in helping me get good at fighting, I'll put back into helping you get good at fishing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
I do blank a lot, mind. I just don't post any pictures of when I've blanked.
Yeah, but I lost it.
These pictures aren't that great. You
Yeah.
fish, or it's not as exciting.
Either that, or you got small hands, so you make it look good.
I wish I had small hands.
Yeah.
Because the other thing I knew that you were like into a lot, hip hop and concerts, right?
Oh, yeah, I love that. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
And there's been no concerts this year.
Oh, the Liquor Stores, Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, that was like always you were posting like you and JP were going to like a concert or something, but then now nothing.
No, we had a massive one lined up there. Gods of Rap,
Yeah.
Rap, like Wu-Tang Clan. There was the Locks. Everyone was there. Like, yeah, that. Oh, mate, I'm well into that. Big into that.
Still your thing, yeah?
Yeah, still love it. Yeah.
What's your go-to for me? The album that got me into rap, and I am a rap fan, but the album that got me into it, so it'll probably always be my favorite. Will be Blackout album, and then 2001 would maybe slot in there against it, like Blackout.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just like all like the late 2000s, like the 90s and the late 2000s. That's me. That's me all over. That is. I mean, there's not many rappers nowadays that I like. Do you know what I mean? The modern hip hop thing.
Well, the thing is, as well, now with grime and drill and shit like that, I listen to it. Like my nephew's massively into rap and hip hop, mate. His 90s collection is unbelievable. You'll speak to him about anyone. You'll be like, oh no, that's this song. It was released on this date. He's like 21. Just his rap is unbelievable, honestly. But he likes a lot of grime and stuff as well. I listen, and every time, even if I like it, I'm like, it's not quite rap though. It's not like
it's not the same, is it? It's not the same.
But so, what would be your album? What's your go-to? If you could have one rap album?
Oh no, Tupac. You can't go wrong with Tupac. You know what I mean? I like the All Eyes on Me.
Biggie. I don't know. Like,
I don't want to get in between those two. But I like them both. It's a hard one to pick. The Wu-Tang Clan, 36 Chambers. That's another big album for me.
Yeah.
Liquid Source, the t-shirt I'm wearing now, Jizza from the Wu-Tang Clan. That's a really good album. Loads. I mean, it's loads, mate. Like I can name one. Loads.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. But I was gutted when lockdown happened, because obviously I had loads of gigs lined up and everything. A lot of them come to Bristol as well. Yeah,
there's some we like people don't realise Bristol's like a mecca for music and stuff. Like drum and bass started here, like jungle and drum and bass started in Bristol, and then Ronnie Size. Then we got obviously the St Paul's Carnival. Plus we've got big stadiums where other people, well, not big, but like O2 Academy would host things where other gigs, where other little local areas couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, when I've seen like Nas in Bristol, Mobb Deep in Bristol. Yeah, I've seen quite a few people, and Red and Meth there.
Yeah. It's wicked. It's a wicked place to live, really. Like, it is a wicked place.
I used to like coming there to Bristol a lot, to be fair. I mean, obviously, I'd spend most of my time down in Bristol. I mean, our training session, if you just go and get a Jamaican.
Yeah, mate. It's St Paul's, Afro Delights.
That's the St Paul's, and then off to your mum's to chill for a bit before I went off to teach.
Yeah, those were the days, mate. And then you used to teach over Bath, so you'd. I remember. Well, we both used to teach it. David Lloyd as well. So we sort of alternate.
What then? It wasn't David Lloyd then, was it?
No, it was called
Next Generation, wasn't it?
It was Next Gen Southmead. Next Generation Southmead. And then, so we'd do that. We'd get some food or whatever. We'd get a Jamaican. Yeah, exactly. You'd come back to mine. You'd maybe teaching that night, or I'd maybe teaching. Sometimes you'd listen, I'm not coming down. Can you teach? And we'd alternate. But then you started in Bath. And I was like, well, like, if Ron is here, so I used to come down and we teach together. And I remember once there was a kid and he stunk. And you were like, Wes, listen, if you're going to teach...
We won't say no names, just in case he watches it.
Yeah, exactly. You were like, Wes, if you're going to teach me, you got to tell the kid he stinks.
Make an announcement at the end of the class. Tell him what to wash.
I was like, what? How am I going to do it? Tell everyone.
Get it?
You had to tell everyone about the hygiene and stuff, and I was like, fucking hell, Ron. Like, yeah. And I remember at the end of the class, I had to be like, listen, guys, we all train together. Hygiene's really important, so make sure if you've had a hard day at work or anything, you wash before. And I can just remember you stood next to me, like, sniggering, like...
Yeah. I wasn't a public talker, mate.
No, I know.
So,
I'll talk to anyone if I'm teaching someone to punch someone in the face, but if I got to tell them to wash, over to Wes.
Oh, mate, you fucking stank as well.
Yeah, it was a bad one. I always remember that.
Oh, mate.
And I used to turn up 10 minutes late just so I didn't have to put the mats out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because they had to put the mats out, didn't they? Yeah, that was funny.
So, mate, what's before we shoot off, what's your plans now then? We're locked down. What are you going to do? Quizzes, obviously. I will get on them for you, mate.
Yeah, just wait quizzes, mate, to be fair. Not, I don't know. It's just, obviously, I've got to try and stay clear of doing anything myself because, obviously, the missus is vulnerable.
Yeah.
Don't want to get the mutated version of the COVID. Yeah, just, I don't know, really. Just do what I can. Just
Netflix films.
Busy doing nothing, really.
Yeah. I tell you what we do, actually. I tell you what we're going to do. Predictions for upcoming UFCs, because I never done these. And what I might do, actually, is I might start doing like a little breakdown of UFCs afterwards if we're still locked down. So I'll get you back on afterwards and we'll break down the UFC. Just a little 30-minute.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about what have we got coming up. Max Holloway's next fight.
Yeah, who's he fighting again? He's fighting.
What's his fucking name? First of all, do you think he lost or beat Volkanovski?
I thought he beat Volkanovski. I was in Abu Dhabi at the time, wasn't I? We was watching it. Me and Nad was watching it from the bedroom.
Yeah.
I can't believe we haven't even spoke about Nad with this whole podcast.
Pardon?
I can't believe we haven't even spoke about Nad in this whole podcast.
I was just, when you mentioned Nad then, I thought to my head, like, how has he not come up?
Yeah.
Well, let's do a Nad section, otherwise he'll message, get in the ump.
Yeah, like, well,
fuck. In all fairness, Nad is one of the guys who made me think, man, I should just, maybe it's over for me. Not like, I mean,
well,
just yeah, well, no, like sparring with him, like, you know, I'll spar with anyone. We've been there, we've done it, and it's always hard with Nad, but he just loves it. It was everything to him. He don't care if he didn't have a hobby. He didn't care if, he wouldn't watch that much MMA. He just loved competing and training and getting better. And then you're like, Nad, you can't spar every session.
Yeah, that Iranian sort of hardness to him, didn't he?
Yeah. So that made me think, I was like, you know what? Like, there's people out there who are 21, 22 who are like this. Like, even if I come back and fight, I'm not going to be like this cunt. I'm going to still want to go fishing.
Do you think he'd ever come back and do it?
I don't know if I want him to, because I think for me, I'm
on that. You.
Me?
Yeah, not him. You. Do you think you'll ever come?
Listen, this is the reason I'm not retired.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Offer me a fight in Japan, I'll take it against anyone.
Yeah.
Offer me big money, I'll take it, or offer me something exciting. Let's say something happened and the UFC needed someone to stand in on this. I'll sign a 1-fight contract just to fight there, just to fight there. Yeah. Or anybody at any weight in Japan, I'm going. I just want to fight in Japan. So I wouldn't say I'm retired, but I'm certainly not a professional MMA fighter at the moment.
Yeah, fair dues.
Makes sense? Nad, though, on the other hand, I was chatting to him about fighting the other day, and he's like, oh, it's going to be nice to, like, just do some stuff with the family. I'm building a little shed out in my back garden. And I'm like, I don't want you to fight again. I was like, I want you to now have a life. Like,
that was his life.
Do something now. You know what I mean?
You don't understand, that was his life. That is his life.
That is his life. That's fucking, and that's what made me think, like, I can't be him. He's like, he loves it. He eats, sleeps, breathes, fucking, like, literally, I've gone in the gym. We started like, yeah, we'll spar a bit. She was like, I ain't got gun shields. Like, no, neither of us. I was like, all right, then we'll spar. Next minute, it's turned into a spar. But none of us got gun shields. I got split lips. He's got split lip. Afterwards, we're sat in the cage, and he's like, yeah, we can't we can't do that, mate, anymore. I was like, oh, it's your fault. I said let's not spar.
Oh, mate, we've had some cracking sessions, me and Nad.
Yeah, he's fucking nuts.
Yeah,
I remember once you clipped him at Olympians, right? Me and Paul Reed are sparring. You clipped Nad, and he wobbled through mine and Paul's spar. That like wobbled to the side foot. Me and Paul stopped, and Nad went through. I looked at you. You were like, "Oops!" Head kick. I think you might have caught him. Maybe you were like, "Oops!" And then I look at Nad, and he stumbled. I caught him. He's like, "No, I'm all right. I'm all right."
Oh, he wanted to carry on. I was like, Nad, and he's caught me as well, mate.
Yeah.
Like we've sparred, he's caught me. He's wobbled me. I've wobbled him.
Yeah.
We had some good spars, to be fair, and like if I was to ever come back, I'd need that. I'd need to do that just to have a bit of a reality check. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, like there's one. If you come back, you have to have what we used to have. I think.
Exactly.
Not every day when you haven't got a fight even coming up. I don't think, but like.
Yeah, exactly.
We would need that, and Nad would. I wouldn't do this without saying to someone like Nad, I need you, man. I got a fight coming. Like when Nad's had fight coming up, I'd give brain cells for him till I get to a fight. I'd need that from him, you know.
Oh mate, he's always there for you. Anyways, if you ask him, he's there. He loves it.
100%, yeah,
he loves it, mate. He fucking loves it. He's definitely got my respect. He's.
Oh yeah, there's no two ways about it. You don't get like I don't think of myself as being hard. That's not what I am. I like to fight.
Genuinely hard with or without the MMA skills.
Yeah, so two people, Nad and Paul Reed, are just hard men. Like
Paul looked in the best shape of his life in his last fight.
Yeah, I don't know. He's on the Alistair Overeem diet or something, in mate. He's fucking looks. He looks a mess, doesn't he?
He reminded me of Willie from fucking The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Because when Willie takes his top off, he's all that was cool.
But because all he does is teach, so he lives in the gym. He's in great shape. But like them two, they're two people who like when a fight gets fighting, if we start to trade, I'm always thinking, right, avoid getting hit, find a way, make a cut an angle. Like Paul and that get hit, and they're like, right, we're fucking fighting, then are you? And I say to people, like people say to me, oh, you're hard. I'm like, no, I know some really hard people.
Yeah, I know to avoid. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But so right, anyway, predictions. Right, we've got Holloway versus Qatar.
Oh mate, that's a cracking fight. That Qatar's good, mate.
Yeah, really good.
He's a mover. He just moves around. He's in and out. But Holloway on another, he just.
When do you bet against Holloway?
It's hard. It's
hard.
You know what I mean? But watching his last couple of fights, mate, he's been looking wicked.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking main events here. Let me try and see what we've got for. Is
that this weekend?
No, 20th, isn't it? Hang on. Is it the no 16th? 16th. But for me, I'd pick Holloway in that fight because I would bet against him.
Yeah. I'm gonna well, just because he's been there with tougher opponents.
Yeah. I think that's the main event's the only one. Yeah, like Tom Breeze is co-main on that event, so it's not really got a few.
Who's Tom Breeze fighting on that?
Tom Breeze has got Omari Akhmedov. Always use the Russian name. No matter who's fighting.
Yeah, well, Tom Breeze has had some psychological problems, hasn't he, in his last few fights? So
yeah,
he's a beast when he's on form.
What a jab!
He's been training with Joby Clayton.
Yeah.
Who now trains Anthony Joshua, and he used to train us back at Trojan years ago.
Yeah.
So Joby is all about the boxing. He fucking got a wicked he could break down a 1-2 like no man. He can make a 1-2 sound a lot more technical than it is. Honestly, he's so good as a coach. So Tom Breeze, if he's on form, if his head's right, I think Tom Breeze. Yeah.
It just depends the wrestling. Because Tom's really good on the floor, but if you've got one of those Russians led on top of you, those Dagestanis tying you up, it's not like normal wrestling, is it?
That is the problem. I'm just gonna go for Tom Breeze because it's more about. I'm gonna go with just because he's a top lad and if his head's right, I think he could beat a lot of people. Do you know what I mean?
I'd agree. I'd go Tom as well. And the next one would be, this is a good fight. Mike Grundy, Nick Lentz.
Because Nad was
meant to fight Lentz.
Technically gonna fight Lentz, wasn't he? I just think Grundy's gonna come and stuck against people. Against people who's they're proper American wrestlers.
I mean, last time his wrestling didn't help him at all in his last fight, and that wasn't against a very high level top American wrestler.
That's what I'm saying. So, like the American wrestlers, I mean, he uses his wrestling to his advantage at the moment. I think it's gonna be a bit hard for him when he comes up against a good American wrestler.
Yeah, and Nick Lentz is in your face as well, so that makes it.
Yeah, and he's been there. He's been there with
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to say I'd take Lentz probably on that one, but I don't want to get a bet against Mike because he's a nice guy.
Yeah, to be fair, I've not met him, but we've crossed paths before, and yeah, he seems a nice guy. To be fair,
he's a nice guy. After that, upcoming fights. This is a quick one though. Chiesa Magny. I don't need to make a prediction on that one because it's tough, but that's going to be a good fight. Don't let that slip under the radar. Chiesa Magny is a great fight. That's on like a fight?
Oh, come here, Chimiev, whatever his name is.
Chimaev?
Yeah. Who did you say?
No, Neil Magny and Michael Chiesa.
Oh, yeah, Michael Chiesa, yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight. Chiesa looks good, man, at welterweight. I like him. I think that's a cracking fight. I couldn't pick a winner of that fight. And then we move on to Poirier and McGregor.
I think McGregor's gonna win that. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I just you know what? His striking's too slick. You know what I mean? His striking is just too slick. He's southpaw. He's the Poirier's good, but he's too rugged for McGregor.
Yeah, I think the thing is, this is the only thing. Poirier's got a little bit of quit in him. I saw that against Khabib. It was more like I can't win this. I'm fucking like you're a very high level grappler and someone sinks your rear naked in without any defense, like no arm on the arm. I mean, even if you've only got one arm, the second anything comes across your neck, you're defending that choke, right?
Yeah.
It didn't happen. And also when he got clipped against McGregor, listen, whenever people get clipped against McGregor, it sort of goes to pot, but he did sort of look like he was like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah, and that was a jab. I think, if I remember correctly, that was a jab, wasn't it?
Like one of those little short right over the top jabs, I think, yeah.
Yeah. So, to be fair, I think McGregor, the way he beat him last time, I think maybe it might last a little bit longer, but I think McGregor's going to take him.
Yeah, like, depends what McGregor shows up. Like, if he's really hungry for a run or if he's just thinking of the payday.
Yeah. Who do you think out of Logan Paul and Mayweather?
What are you trying to think of a round that Mayweather stops him, or?
I'm just thinking, Logan might have an advantage, just being bigger than that.
Do you think Logan? Do you think he hits as hard as Canelo or fucking De La Hoya?
Who? Logan Paul?
Yeah.
Wait. Apparently so. He's apparently according to his brother Jake Paul, he's mint.
What do you make of this fucking situation with the YouTube?
He's probably gonna get paid more than what he did in the McGregor fight.
Oh yeah. There's
crazy.
There's mega money, and like for me,
just to get paid, just to get beaten up for $500 million.
Mate, there's not a man on this planet I wouldn't fight for 500 grand. They didn't exist. Any weight, any rules, 500 grand. So if you're chucking tens of millions, like people are slating them, and I'm like, look, this is the thing about Logan Paul. He's going to train like he's a professional boxer, even though he's really not. He's going to train really hard, but then he's going to raise millions of dollars and have a fight and make millions of dollars. Like,
exactly.
Listen, do I think it's good for boxing? No. Do I think it's good for Logan Paul Mayweather? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a close fight that one is, to be fair. Yeah. No, Yeah, no, I can't see Logan Paul. He might last a couple of rounds just due to his size, and he might smother Mayweather.
Yeah. Do you think Logan Paul would beat Conor McGregor in a boxing match?
Of course he wouldn't.
No, not. No. And listen, at no point that Conor McGregor fight could have been over in the third round.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
definitely. I'd like to see, like Conor go against someone like Canelo or Pacquiao. That'd be even though Mayweather's better in terms of boxing skill, but
it's a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like Canelo is just going to hurt him.
Oh, mate. I'd fear for his life in that fight.
Yeah, Canelo would fucking absolutely hurt him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'd need someone, like, so if Lemonchenko was a bit bigger, someone like that would be a good fight because you'd work the angles and it'd be movement. It'd be really nice to watch for a round or two.
Talking about boxing, did you see the Luke Campbell and Garcia fight?
What a body shot.
Mate, but look at the knockdown Luke Campbell had.
So for me, the next day, I said to Ross Dunsford, who used to be one of my striking coaches, I said to him, like, Luke Campbell lost that fight. He gave the fight away because it's like when he dropped him, he should have thought, hang on, I can fucking do this. But he was still so tentative and so like, it's like he expected to lose.
Crazy. Well, he probably was putting it. Obviously, that Ryan Garcia is a poster boy, isn't he? So.
Yeah, but I think with his style, you can only rely on those fast hands for a certain amount of time. Like you got no footwork and you don't move your head. Like
exactly. But a good knockdown he had though in round 2.
Lovely shot.
Yeah.
Lovely shot.
But yeah, no, I don't.
Body shot, mate. Sounded like that drum that he used to beat at the beginning of Pride.
Oh, mate. When those fireworks.
Yeah, with the fireworks.
Oh God.
Mate, listen, I'm gonna let you go. It's been wicked. I can't believe we've waited this long. Say hello to the missus for me, and I'll see you both on a quiz sometime this week or so.
Hopefully, be waiting.
The best with the pregnancy, etc. And this is my plan. When we get a decent UFC, we'll break it down. It's 30 minutes. We'll talk about the main event and co. You and I, first one.
Sounds good. All
right, brother. Nice one. Stay there. I'll hang up on this, and then you and I will say goodbye in person.